January 2021, ZIM announces it has commenced an initial public offering.
Becoming a public company will enable us to grow, expand our portfolio, and offer even much better service to our customers.
It is a defining moment in the history of ZIM to be a public company.
Going public for every company is a big step and a huge moment.
A move from being a private-run company to being a public company that's controlled by many shareholders. And you have a whole different set of obligations being a public company.
I'm sure that everybody is very excited and very happy from this moment.
I think it's a historically significant transaction in the Israeli capital markets. Even now, looking at the holders list, I mean, it's a really high-quality shareholder list.
So it is absolutely a historical moment.
But it wasn't always a smooth ride for ZIM.
We believe from day one it is possible, but we thought it's going to be very difficult.
This was unusual in a few different ways. It started with the fact that this was during COVID, so this was all done remotely.
Dylan, please work fast. You have the green light. We have to ask the board for approval because we have the 16 to 19. We're going to ask our board now for a special meeting.
ZIM's IPO was the very first time that I had gone from the very beginning to the very end without physically meeting the client. So we did everything, all the prep work, all the meetings, all the pitching, and then all of the investor meetings entirely virtually.
We sent along 2 documents that we can use in discussions.
It takes a lot to pull off an IPO because ultimately there's other opportunity investors typically can look at and invest in. So you need to kind of bring something new and differentiating that makes them choose you as an interesting investment.
ZIM was founded in 1945 by the Jewish Agency and the General Foundation of Laborers in the Land of Israel.
This company exists longer than the State of Israel. People don't realize that.
Well, I think people have known ZIM for a long time. ZIM is a great historical, the quintessential Israeli company, but it's also a shipping company and therefore has been subject to the cyclical nature of the industry.
ZIM had 3 previous unsuccessful IPO attempts in 2008, 2011, and 2016.
This company tried to go public multiple times and failed.
They attempted actually going to market in a certain manner that was, in a sense, undifferentiated in a market that was perceived as one that investors could not really create value.
I think you heard skepticism from people throughout the process as to whether they'd be able to get it done.
I think the difference between now and then is that there was a real attempt on the part of the management to reshape the equity story, to bring out what is ZIM, but a new ZIM.
In 2017, Eli Glickman takes office as president and CEO of ZIM.
Many people in this country that were soliciting for this job, wanting this job, and Eli took it on, and he delivered. And this is, to me, this is something very unique. Thank you.
Look, Eli's fabulous. You tell just from meeting him that he's former military. It's not surprising when you Google him and you see, how senior he was in the Navy. He's a fabulous guy.
Thank you to everyone for super hard work and just very proud to be part of it. So, thank you.
I regard him as a friend. I think he's a man to talk and discuss with, and a person that gives advice but also listens to advice.
About $1.5 million valuation.
Eli's a very determined individual. It comes as no great surprise to learn about Eli's history in the Navy and in the commandos.
Eli has this leadership and his dedication to get from point A to point Z with 100% success.
It takes management, builds a coherent team around.
Eli and Walt Disney share a common trait. Walt Disney always says, if you can dream it, you can do it. And I think this is it.
There was a new management team that brought with them experience from other industries that kind of differentiated them, and I think that was very important.
The new management team really found a way to be more technology driven. They completely understood how they could fit in the industry in a way that other container shipping companies had not.
They rationalized the business to make it incredibly efficient.
ZIM was going about doing the business differently. So it was the best of the legacy and the best of the new approach.
In November 2020, ZIM reports a net profit of $144 million on an all-time third-quarter record. But is it the right time to go public?
That you managed to do what other people before you were not successful in doing.
Pricing of this transaction was definitely interesting, to say the least, and something that I will remember for a long time.
One of the biggest challenges with this transaction was actually less about ZIM and much more about the sector. I can't remember a US liner to have gone public in the last probably decade.
This is the only IPO of a shipping company in the New York Stock Exchange for many, many, many years. And probably one of the only, in general, IPOs of shipping companies globally.
The hours before the public offering announcement are certainly nerve-wracking.
You definitely felt, to some extent, that you were in a military operation.
Please go ahead and close the deal as fast as you can. You have the floor.
It's over those tough moments, where you're in the battle.
There were a number of things that I worried about up front that could go wrong. Obviously financial statement preparation, the market, dealing with their shareholders and whether shareholders would balk at the terms or balk at the lockup.
The really stressful time comes when you then take this creation, your positioning, and you bring it to the market in the form of a roadshow, because that's when you really know whether or not, as a professional, you've done a good job for your client.
And you say to the people, okay, now it's time to make a decision. You can't stay on the sidelines. That's the most worrying moment. Are you going to be able to fulfill the demands for this IPO, or are you not? And it's a very stressful moment. It's a very stressful, 10 days.
Despite the difficulties, ZIM is moving forwards with the IPO. This is where the CEO, Eli Glickman, demonstrates his abilities.
Clearly, the guy doesn't take no for an answer. Essentially, he sees a goal that others thought was impossible and just charging through.
I know from the first moment when I said this company is going to be one of the 3 top leaders in EBIT margin.
When he took over the company, he promised many things. I mean, he was shooting for the moon. And we said, yeah, okay, sure. And he delivered.
And I, as you know, take challenge and question seriously and not emotionally.
I've been lucky to been working with Eli for a second time in his career, so I knew his perseverance and his strength to lead the company.
The investors are going to enjoy very high return on investment.
He was in touch with me and my team on an almost daily basis. Where are the meeting requests? What's the feedback? What's the pushback? What can we do differently? What can we do better? Didn't matter what time of day it was.
The management team at ZIM were incredibly decisive and prepared to take some risks to get things done.
This management makes sure that we will not leave a single stone unturned. They were willing to go very broad. They were willing to speak to any investor who would be willing to listen to their story.
For us, the most important part is to make the deal.
Eli's direction was, I need to achieve this objective.
There was nothing that was offline. He wanted to get the deal done, and he and the team and Sam made sure that they did everything they could to get the deal done.
And it's a quote from Einstein that basically says, if you want the results to be different, don't do the same thing all over and over and over again. And this is exactly what happened in this IPO, because we did things differently. And this is something that we took from Eli day one.
The punchline is we were able to get a $14.5 million base deal at $15 a share that will be in a position to price this evening.
When we got to pricing and there was a deal, it was super exciting, and you could see the excitement on the faces of management and the directors, and it was great to be a part of it.
Eli Glickman, CEO, Xavier, CFO, those 2 decisions were fundamental to the results we are having today.
And I think seeing the IPO price and then trade really well, and that's something that I would definitely cherish forever.
And I think that the utmost appreciation for the initiative, the perseverance, the efforts, and the amazing achievements.
This feeling that we were charging an objective and we were going to get there come what may, and then we did.
On January 27th, ZIM announces the pricing of its initial public offering of 14,500,000 ordinary shares at price of $15 per ordinary share.
I am very proud to announce the conclusion of ZIM IPO.
The moment when you are successful is the most important moment.
The best part of working with companies when they go public is watching them go public and see them price, and that excitement is amazing.
I think that the energy and the focus of management was very different than the previous times.
Best day of my life since I came to ZIM. Very happy.
Congratulations, this is really a major achievement.
And I'm not just talking about Ellie, I'm talking about the 20 to 30 people that were involved from the management side at this IPO, really believed that this is going to be successful and pushed us as their advisors very, very hard. Like I've never ever seen a company push its advisors to make sure that this is a success.
And from now on, we are talking about how to do things faster, innovative. I'm wishing everybody good luck and good success. Thank you.
A few months later, ZIM is looking straight at the horizon, to the future.
We saw the stock react very well in the days to come, and it has continued to be very strong.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's been a long and challenging journey for ZIM and the investors. But looking back at this successful IPO, everyone who was involved can look at the outcome with great satisfaction.
Everyone from the top all the way down to everyone involved at ZIM, it was an impressive team effort.
I just want to say 3 things, like Obama. Well done, 12 fois, Xavier, and Mazal Tov to all of us.
Good luck.
It was a very broad team and people that worked super hard, and they are the ones that deserve the thanking of the shareholders.
It should bring some reassurance that, there's a management team that is prepared and is, determined and works hard and does what's best for shareholders.
My mother, who actually was yesterday, was her 2 years after she passed away, she said to me all the time, take Eddie to work, it's going to be great. Take Eddie. I said, leave me alone with this Eddie. So, I thank her.
I'm sure we are going to change the world of container shipping. So thank you very much.
As we speak, ZIM is a $4.5 billion company. It is not a trivial size. That's a very meaningful public shipping company. Compared to most public shipping companies, ZIM is a giant.
It is not an exit, it is an entrance into a new world and a new reality for ZIM and its management and its employees and its shareholder, and it's a new beginning, and it's definitely a historical moment.
I love the people there. I think they're phenomenal, each one in his own way. Really, I just really wish them a tremendous amount of success. I'm sure they're gonna, this is only the beginning of an amazing future.
And to high return on investment. Good luck to all of us.